Previously, the mirror comes back. He goes into seclusion. He tells Manjin to watch the place. Then he travels to the destroyed land and makes a headstone for his friend. When he returns home, he suddenly feels a powerful energy. Feels like Manjin, but it is not him. It is a terrifying lion beast arriving at the scene. Now to the next chapter. The tension rises as Raymond confronts a massive elephant wreathed in roaring orange flames, as Manjin warns the lion to speak carefully, threatening that any misstep will result in no forgiveness. Raymond is focused on the recovery of his wife's remains, demanding to know if Manjin currently possesses her corpse. Soo-hye, caught in the middle of this high-stakes standoff, begins to sweat profusely as a realization dawns on it. Soo-hye recalls the previous encounter with an amethyst thunder lion, wondering if the creature it had recently consumed was indeed the spouse of this terrifying king. Raymond's appearance is further detailed as a massive, shadowy silhouette that towers over the snake, with glowing eyes that pierce through the darkness. Soo-hye ponders the gender of the lion it ate, noting that it had a ring of fur around its neck, which usually signifies a male. However, Manjin clarifies a unique biological trait of the amethyst thunder lion species. The magnificent thunderbeard appears on both males and females of the lineage. To demonstrate, Raymond activates his own thunderbeard, which crackles with high-intensity violet electricity and causes his mane to expand and glow with a fierce, ethereal light. Soo-hye is left in a state of shock, hissing in fear as the truth of its actions becomes clear. Raymond growls with growing impatience, his body vibrating with electrical energy as he demands the return of his wife's remains. He warns Manjin that any further insolence or threats will be met with immediate and brutal retaliation. The flaming elephant, however, remains defiant. Manjin scoffs at Raymond's attitude, questioning whether this is the proper way to ask for assistance. The two giants clash, their spiritual pressures grinding against one another and sending shockwaves through the forest. Raymond suspects that there is more to Soo-hye's background than meets the eye, wondering why Manjin would fight so fiercely for a lowly demon. He points out that humans were the ones who originally killed his wife, but he knows that Soo-hye and Manjin were the ones who ultimately took the corpse. Manjin retorts that Raymond should be grateful, as it was the one who avenged the lioness by killing the human cultivator responsible for her death. Raymond cares little for vengeance at this moment, roared out that he only desires the physical remains of his beloved. The argument turns physical as Raymond charges, his claws glowing with purple light, while Manjin counters with a stomp that sends a wave of fire toward his opponent. Soo-hye intervenes at the last second, shouting for them to stop and trying to mediate the potentially fatal misunderstanding between its two benefactors. The conflict ceases, leaving Soo-hye to lament its own misfortune as it reveals the meager remains of the lioness. On the barren, cracked earth, only a few sun-bleached bones and a partial skull remain. Raymond collapses before the remnants of his wife, let out a heart-wrenching roar that echoes through the valley. Soo-hye is stunned to learn that the deceased was Raymond's ninth sister and wife, and it nervously wonders if there are 8 more powerful lions waiting in the wings. Raymond mourns deeply, explaining that while he inherited 8 other wives from the previous lion lord, the 9th was the only one he truly loved as a partner. He describes her as the youngest and the one with the lowest cultivation level, prone to jealousy and quick to run away from home, which led to her tragic demise. Manjin watches silently as the lion's grief pours out, suggesting to Soo-hye that they should give him some time to compose himself. After an hour passes, Raymond eventually regains his composure and approaches the group, apologizing for his previous loss of emotional control. He stands tall, his wings folded against his back, looking much more composed but still carrying the weight of his loss in his glowing magenta eyes. Raymond acknowledges that while Soo-hye may have consumed the flesh of his 9th sister, the act of returning the remains and killing the responsible cultivator has squared the debt between them. However, his grief quickly turns back to a cold, focused rage as he demands to know which human sect that cultivator belonged to. Soo-hye hesitates, its mind racing as it considers the implications of telling the truth. It knows that the cultivator was from the powerful heavenly puppet sect, but it fears that leading Raymond against such a formidable foe would be suicidal for everyone involved. Instead, Su-hei decides to manipulate the situation, claiming that the attacker was a member of the snake catcher sect. This lie serves a dual purpose. It protects them from the puppet sect's wrath and points Raymond's fury at Su-hei's own sworn enemies. Raymond does not hesitate for a second, his wings erupting with purple lightning as he takes to the sky, vowed to annihilate the snake catcher sect branch hall in Rock Snake City immediately. Su-hei and Manj-jin watch as he streaks across the horizon like a violet comet. Su-hei reflects on Raymond's impulsiveness, questioning if the lion even has a brain, while Manj-jin wonders if they should follow. Despite its misgivings, Su-hei realizes that this is a perfect opportunity for revenge. Manj-jin, seeing the potential for destruction, agrees to join the fray, and the two of them fly off in pursuit of the vengeful Lion King. The group arrives at the outskirts of Rock Snake City, a branch hall of the snake catcher sect nestled deep within a rocky canyon. The city is protected by a Tier 3 defense array, manifesting as a shimmering blue dome of energy that crackles with defensive runes. Inside the city, a Foundation establishment Great Circle Hall Master stands guard, backed by the knowledge of a core formation ancestor who remains in deep seclusion. The fortifications are formidable, designed to be easy to defend but incredibly difficult to breach. However, Raymond has brought reinforcements of his own, his 8 other wives. Each lioness is a powerful beast in her own right, with a lineup consisting of 3 mid-foundation establishment, 3 late-stage foundation establishment, and 1 Great Circle Foundation establishment first wife. The sight of 9 powerful lions hovering over the city sends the sect members into a panic. An elder with a long white beard and flowing gray robes rushes to the walls, his face etched with confusion and terror as he points up at the invaders. He opens the city's defense array and demands to know why Raymond has come to attack them so aggressively, claiming that his sect has no enmity with the Lion tribe. Raymond roars down from the sky, his voice booming like thunder as he accuses the sect of murdering his wife and children, a claim that leaves the elder utterly bewildered. The elder of the snake catcher sect tries to maintain his innocence, swearing that none of his disciples have even entered the mountains this year. He is quickly interrupted by Manj-jin and Su-hei, who fly into view to provide damning evidence of the sect's transgressions. Su-hei mocks the elder's denials, revealing a golden token that belonged to the eldest disciple, Wu Macho, and the severed head of Elder Cui Yuan. The visual proof is undeniable, and the surrounding disciples fall into a state of absolute despair as they recognize the items. They realize that the rumors of Shen Yangzi's lineage being wiped out were true, and they curse their former comrade for bringing such a disaster upon their heads. The elder sinks to his knees on the stone steps of the hall, his face pale as he realizes the magnitude of the doom facing his people. He desperately hopes that the mountain protection array can hold until reinforcements arrive from the headquarters, but Raymond's patience has reached its limit. The purple diamond-shaped gem on Raymond's forehead begins to glow with blinding intensity, gathering a massive amount of spiritual energy. He commands his wives to join him in a synchronized bombardment. Each lion opens its maw, charging up a sphere of violet electrical energy.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.